नमस्कार दोस्तों। भारत की राज्य व्यवस्था, सिविल सेवा एवं अन्य परीक्षाओं हेतु छठा संस्करण जो हमारे समक्ष प्रस्तुत हैं, ये हैं पॉलिटी की बुक एम लक्ष्मीकांत। देखिए, बाजार में इस समय सातवां संस्करण जो है वो आ चुका है, लेकिन सातवें संस्करण और छठे संस्करण में बस अंतर इतना सा है कि छठा संस्करण के जो अध्याय है वो तो सेम सेम डाल दिए, इसके अलावा कुछ नए अध्याय जोड़ दिए हैं। संख्या में 12 बताए जा रहे हैं। वो 12 अध्याय हमारे पास अलग से एक पीडीएफ है, उससे हम पढ़ेंगे। लेकिन ये जो शेष अध्याय जो एकदम सेम है, जिनमें कोई डिफरेंस नहीं है, उन अध्यायों को हम इसी पीडीएफ से करेंगे। क्योंकि आप देखते हैं तो हर अध्याय की लाइन टू लाइन, मतलब हूबहू एक तरह से कह सकते हैं कॉपी की गई है। एक तरह से कॉपी है छठे संस्करण की। सातवें संस्करण में नए अध्यायों को छोड़कर बस बाकी सब चीज़ें सेम सेम हैं। भाग संख्या 1, इस पुस्तक में भाग बना रखे हैं लगभग 10-11, और ये पहला भाग है संवैधानिक ढांचा, कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल फ्रेमवर्क। तो ये कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल जो फ्रेमवर्क है, जो ढांचा है, इसके अंतर्गत ऐतिहासिक पृष्ठभूमि, संविधान का निर्माण, संविधान की प्रमुख विशेषताएं, संविधान की प्रस्तावना, इन 4 अध्यायों को हम पिछले एक वीडियो में पढ़ चुके हैं। अब हम पढ़ेंगे संघ एवं इसका क्षेत्र, यूनियन एंड इट्स टेरिटरी से शुरू करके आगे जो अध्याय हम जितने पढ़ सकेंगे कोशिश करेंगे आज की इस वीडियो में पढ़ने की। संवैधानिक ढांचा कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल फ्रेमवर्क के अंतर्गत कुल 11 अध्याय हैं। ऐतिहासिक पृष्ठभूमि से लेकर के संविधान की मूल संरचना तक ये अध्याय शामिल हैं। प्रथम अध्याय ऐतिहासिक पृष्ठभूमि, हिस्टोरिकल बैकग्राउंड को हम पढ़ चुके हैं। तदुपरांत हमने संविधान का निर्माण, मेकिंग ऑफ द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन, दूसरा अध्याय पढ़ा। फिर संविधान की प्रमुख विशेषताएं, सैलिएंट फीचर्स ऑफ द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन हमने जानी। और अब हम अंतिम अध्याय संविधान की प्रस्तावना, प्रियम्बल ऑफ द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन से आगे पढ़ेंगे। और जो अध्याय हम पढ़ने वाले हैं वो है अध्याय संख्या 5। आपको मैं दिखा देता हूँ। अध्याय का नाम है संघ एवं इसका क्षेत्र, यूनियन एंड इट्स टेरिटरी। संविधान के भाग 1 के अंतर्गत अनुच्छेद 1 से 4 तक आते हैं। ये मैं आपको बता चुका हूँ आगे। और देखिए, जो संविधान का भाग 1 है उसमें अनुच्छेद 1, अनुच्छेद 2, अनुच्छेद 3 और अनुच्छेद 4, ये 4 अनुच्छेद जो है, 4 आर्टिकल्स इसमें आते हैं। और इस जो पूरा पार्ट है, इस पार्ट का नाम है, जो इस चैप्टर का नाम है वो है संघ एवं इसका क्षेत्र। ठीक है, ये हमारा जो है भाग संख्या 1 पर टिका हुआ चैप्टर है। भाग संख्या 1 है, उसके बारे में विस्तार से हम समझेंगे। संविधान के भाग 1 के अंतर्गत अनुच्छेद 1 से 4 तक में संघ एवं इसके क्षेत्रों की चर्चा की गई है। सबसे पहले हम समझेंगे राज्यों का संघ का क्या अर्थ है। अनुच्छेद 1 में क्या कहा गया है? अनुच्छेद 1 में कहा गया है, इंडिया यानी भारत राज्यों का संघ होगा। यह व्यवस्था 2 बातों को स्पष्ट करती है। देखिए, आर्टिकल 1 कहता है इंडिया यानी भारत बजाय राज्यों के समूह के राज्यों का संघ होगा। ये बात लिखी हुई वहाँ पर। यह व्यवस्था 2 चीज़ों को बताती है कि राज्यों का संघ क्या है, उसका क्या मतलब है। देखिए, यहाँ पर राज्यों के संघ का भारत के संदर्भ में मतलब ये है कि भारत जो है वो एक देश है, और देश का नाम इसमें स्पष्ट रूप से दिखाई देता है, भारत या इंडिया, 2 नाम आते हैं। दूसरा इसमें बताता है राज्यों का संघ जो है राज पद्धति का प्रकार, यानी किस प्रकार की राज पद्धति यहाँ पर होगी उसके बारे में बताया गया है आर्टिकल 1 में, अनुच्छेद 1 में। इंडिया यानी भारत बजाय राज्यों के समूह के राज्यों का संघ होगा। तो एक तो इंडिया यानी भारत, इसका नाम आ गया, एक राज्यों का संघ जो इसकी राज पद्धति का प्रकार बताया गया है। संविधान सभा में देश के नाम को लेकर किसी तरह का कोई मतैक्य नहीं था। एक तरह के नाम सभी लोग सुझाव नहीं दे रहे थे, अलग अलग मत सब लोगों के थे। कुछ सदस्यों ने सलाह दी कि इसके परंपरागत नाम भारत को रहने दिया जाए, जबकि कुछ ने इसका आधुनिक नाम इंडिया की वकालत की। इस तरह संविधान सभा ने दोनों नामों को स्वीकार कर लिया, इंडिया जो कि भारत है। दूसरे शब्दों में ये कह सकते हैं कि देश को संघ बताया गया है। यद्यपि संविधान का ढांचा जो है वो संघीय है, संघीय ढांचा है, लेकिन यहाँ पर संघ बताया गया है। डॉक्टर बी.आर. अम्बेडकर क्या कहते हैं कि राज्यों का संघ का क्या अर्थ है? राज्यों का संघ का अर्थ यहाँ पर जो है वो है संघीय। राज्य के स्थान पर राज्यों का संघ ऐसा कहने का कारण ये बताया गया है कि एक तो कारण ये है कि भारतीय संघ जो है, इंडियन जो फेडरेशन है, फेडरेशन हालांकि है नहीं ये, तो इंडियन जो फेडरेशन जो नाम लिया गया है, राज्यों का संघ यानी फेडरेशन ऑफ स्टेट्स, भारतीय संघ राज्यों के बीच में कोई मतैक्य का परिणाम नहीं है, समझौते का परिणाम नहीं है। जैसे कि अमेरिकी संघ में दो राज्यों को संघ से विभक्त होने का कोई अधिकार नहीं है। यह संघ है, ये विभक्त नहीं हो सकता। पूरा देश एक है जो विभिन्न राज्यों में प्रशासनिक सुविधा के लिए बटा हुआ है। डॉक्टर अंबेडकर कहते हैं कि राज्यों का संघ उक्ति को संघीय राज्य के स्थान पर महत्व देने के दो कारण हैं। एक, भारतीय संघ राज्यों के बीच कोई समझौते का परिणाम नहीं है, जैसे कि अमेरिकी संघ में है। दूसरा, राज्यों को संघ से विभक्त होने का अधिकार नहीं है। यह संघ है, यह विभक्त नहीं हो सकता। पूरा देश एक है जो विभिन्न राज्यों में प्रशासनिक सुविधा के लिए बटा हुआ है। अनुच्छेद 1 के अंतर्गत 3 श्रेणियों में राज्य यहाँ पर आते हैं। 3 श्रेणियों में भारतीय क्षेत्र जो है वो बटा हुआ है। अनुच्छेद 1 के अंतर्गत में 3 श्रेणियाँ यहाँ पर, एक तो है राज्यों के क्षेत्र, स्टेट्स जिनकी बात करते हैं, एक है संघ क्षेत्र, यूनियन टेरिटरीज, और एक ऐसे क्षेत्र जिन्हें किसी भी समय भारत सरकार द्वारा अधिकृत किया जा सकता है, जैसे अक्साई चिन्ह हो सकता है या पीओके हो सकता है, या कोई भी क्षेत्र जैसे बलूचिस्तान हो सकता है। राज्यों एवं संघ शासित राज्यों, उनके विस्तार को संविधान की पहली अनुसूची में दर्शाया गया है। इस वक्त 28 राज्य और 8 केंद्र शासित प्रदेश हैं। 9 यहाँ जो है छठा संस्करण में दिया हुआ है। उसके बाद में जो है छठा संस्करण जब ये आया था, उसके बाद में 2 अलग अलग केंद्र शासित प्रदेशों को मिला करके एक केंद्र शासित प्रदेश बना दिया गया था। तो कुल मिला के जो दादरा और नगर हवेली, दमन और दीव, इन चारों को जो है अब संयुक्त रूप से एक ही केंद्र शासित प्रदेश माना जाता है। इसलिए 28 राज्य, 8 केंद्र शासित प्रदेश हैं। राज्यों के संदर्भ में संविधान के उपबंध की व्यवस्था जो है सभी राज्यों पर एक समान रूप से लागू है। यद्यपि भाग 21 के अंतर्गत कुछ राज्यों के लिए विशेष उपबंध शामिल हैं। अब कौन से भाग के अंतर्गत विशेष उपबंध शामिल हैं? एक तो वो है भाग संख्या 21, इतना याद रखिएगा। भाग संख्या 21 में कौन कौन से राज्य हैं? तो एक तो महाराष्ट्र हैं, गुजरात हैं, जो दोनों एक साथ थे पहले, ठीक। महाराष्ट्र और गुजरात, जिनको सौराष्ट्र कहते थे, तो महाराष्ट्र और गुजरात है। इसके अलावा यहाँ पर जो है असम के जितने भी यहाँ पे स्टेट्स जो हैं इनके साथ में जुड़े हुए हैं वो सभी हैं। आंध्र प्रदेश है ऊपर, आंध्र प्रदेश नीचे हो गया, और असम और उसके आसपास नागालैंड, मणिपुर है, तेलंगाना है, और ये आंध्र प्रदेश और तेलंगाना दोनों ही जो हैं ये भी साथ में एक तरह से संयुक्त रूप से इनको गिन सकते हैं आप, और महाराष्ट्र और गुजरात को भी गिन सकते हैं। तो महाराष्ट्र गुजरात हैं, और महाराष्ट्र और गुजरात के अलावा जो जैसे हम तो ये भाग संख्या 21 पढ़ते हैं, तो भाग संख्या 21 का नाम है अस्थायी संक्रमणकालीन और विशेष उपबंध। तो इस अस्थायी संक्रमणकालीन और विशेष उपबंध जो ये भाग संख्या 21 हैं, उसके अंतर्गत अनुच्छेद जो 371 हैं और 71 के आगे इसके कुछ इसमें जोड़े कुछ सब पार्ट्स भी इसमें जोड़ रखे हैं। जैसे अनुच्छेद 370 तो आपको पता है जम्मू कश्मीर राज्य के संबंध में अस्थायी उपबंध इसमें किए गए हैं। हालांकि उसमें कुछ सुधार किए गए हैं, अब जैसा कि आप जानते हैं 2019 से। उसके बाद से जो अनुच्छेद 371 हैं, अनुच्छेद 371 में महाराष्ट्र और गुजरात राज्यों के संबंध में विशेष उपबंध कर रखे हैं। 371 में महाराष्ट्र और गुजरात जो कि सबसे पहले मैंने यहाँ लिखे हुए दिखाए गए हैं, ठीक है। उसके बाद नागालैंड की बात करें तो उसमें 371A में जो है नागालैंड की बात की गई है। असम जो है, असम की नागालैंड के जस्ट बाद 371B में बात की गई है। फिर इसके बाद 371C जो है वो मणिपुर के संदर्भ में हो जाएगा। 371D जो है आंध्र प्रदेश या तेलंगाना राज्य के संबंध में विशेष उपबंध दोनों इसमें किए गए हैं, ठीक है। आंध्र प्रदेश तेलंगाना जो है वो 371D हो गया। 371E में जो है आंध्र प्रदेश में केंद्रीय विश्वविद्यालय की स्थापना जो है बताई गई है। अनुच्छेद 371F जो है वह आंध्र प्रदेश, F जो है वो है सिक्किम, F जो है सिक्किम राज्य के संबंध में विशेष उपबंध यहाँ पर किया गया है। इस बात का ध्यान रखिएगा, F में जो है सिक्किम के संदर्भ में विशेष उपबंध किया गया है। 371 F सिक्किम के बारे में हो गया। 371 F के बाद में जी जो है वो मिजोरम के संदर्भ में हो जाता है, और एच जो है वो अरुणाचल प्रदेश के बारे में हो जाता है। और 371H के बाद आई जो है 371H अरुणाचल प्रदेश, फिर आई जो है वो गोवा हो जाता है, और के जो है वो कर्नाटक हो जाता है। तो फिर से बता रहा हूँ, 371 ए में नागालैंड, बी में असम, सी में मणिपुर, डी में आंध्र प्रदेश, तेलंगाना। ठीक। ई जो है आंध्र प्रदेश में केंद्रीय विश्वविद्यालय की स्थापना के लिए अलग से डाला हुआ है। 371F सिक्किम, 371 जी मिजोरम, 371H जो है वो अरुणाचल प्रदेश, और 371 आई जो है वो गोवा राज्य है, और 371 जे जो है वो है कर्नाटक में, के नहीं है, जे है। तो ये सारे जो हैं जितने भी विशेष उपबंध जोड़े गए हैं, ये भाग संख्या 21 जिसको अस्थायी, संक्रमणकालीन और विशेष उपबंध इस नाम से जानते हैं, भाग संख्या 21 में अनुच्छेद 369 से लेकर के 392 तक शामिल हैं। 369 जो है वह है भाई राज्य सूची के कुछ विषयों के संबंध में विधि बनाने की संसद की इस प्रकार की अस्थायी शक्ति मानो वे समवर्ती सूची के विषय हो। यानी कुछ ऐसे राज्य सूची के सब्जेक्ट्स जिन पर संसद पार्लियामेंट कानून बना सकती हैं, विधि बना सकती हैं, और ये ऐसे सब्जेक्ट्स इसमें डाले हुए हैं जिन पर अस्थायी शक्ति इस तरह से है, टेम्परेरी पावर इस प्रकार से है पार्लियामेंट के पास कि सपोज दैट वो जो सब्जेक्ट्स हैं वो समवर्ती सूची के विषय हैं, राज्य सूची की नहीं है। ऐसे ऐसे विषयों को 369 में डाला गया। 370 जानते हैं, 371 के बारे में मैंने आपको बता दिया है। अनुच्छेद 372 जो है विद्यमान विधियों की प्रवृत्ति बने रहना और उनका अनुकूलन इसमें दिया हुआ है। इसी तरह से ये जो है अनुच्छेद इसमें दे रखे हैं, इसमें बहुत सारे अनुच्छेद जो हैं निरस्त किए जा चुके हैं, जैसे 379 हैं, 380 हैं, 381 हैं, 382 है, 383 है, 384 है, 385 हैं, 386, 387, 388, 389 और 390। यानी कि आप मान के चलिए कि 379 से लेकर के 300 जो है 89 से जस्ट एक आगे 11 अनुच्छेद जो है इसमें निरस्त किए जा चुके हैं, इनको निकाला जा चुका है। तो ये सारे अनुच्छेद तो निकल चुके हैं। उसमें 391 और 392 जो है वो पड़े हैं, और इधर जो ये अनुच्छेद 369 से लेकर के 378 का तक जो है 378 जो है उसमें लोक सेवाओं के आयोगों के बारे में बताया गया है, और 378 का जो है वो आंध्र प्रदेश विधानसभा की सभा की अवधि के संबंध में विशेष उपबंध उसमें जुड़े हुए हैं। तो ये भाग संख्या जो 21 है उसमें ये जानकारी आपको दी गई है, और वहाँ ये जानकारी आपको मिलती है। अब उल्लेखनीय ये है कि भारत के क्षेत्र भारत का संघ से ज़्यादा व्यापक अर्थ समेटे हुए हैं। भारत के क्षेत्र जो है उसमें ज़्यादा एरियाज आ जाते हैं भारत का संघ। भारत के संघ में तो वो स्टेट्स हैं जो इससे इस समय इसमें जुड़े हुए हैं, और भारत के क्षेत्र में जो बाद में जुड़ेंगे वो भी इसमें शामिल हो जाते हैं। यानी कि भारत के क्षेत्र भारत का संघ से ज़्यादा व्यापक अर्थ समेटे हुए हैं। ब्रॉड इसमें मीनिंग इसमें शामिल है, क्योंकि बाद वाले में जिसको हम भारत का संघ कह रहे हैं उसमें सिर्फ राज्य शामिल हैं। ठीक, राज्य शामिल है भारत का संघ। ठीक है, जबकि पहले में न केवल राज्य शामिल है बल्कि संघ शासित क्षेत्र और वे क्षेत्र भी जिन्हें सरकार द्वारा किसी भी समय अधिकृत किया जा सकता है। तो भारत का संघ जो है वहाँ पर केवल स्टेट्स की बात की गई है, स्टेट्स ही शामिल हैं केवल उसमें, तो केवल स्टेट्स शामिल किए गए हैं। जबकि भारत के क्षेत्र की बात करें तो उसमें स्टेट्स है, साथ में यूनियन टेरिटरीज हैं, और साथ में किसी भी समय अपनाया जाने वाला क्षेत्र भी इसमें शामिल हो जाएगा। तो संघीय व्यवस्था में राज्य इसके सदस्य हैं और केंद्र के साथ शक्तियों के बंटवारे के हिस्सेदार हैं। पावर्स का डिवीजन करते हैं यहाँ, और संघीय व्यवस्था में पावर्स का डिवीजन जो है ये होता है। राज्यों का जो है राज्य जो है स्टेट्स जो है वो पावर का डिवीजन करते हैं संघ के साथ। दूसरी तरफ संघ शासित क्षेत्र एवं केंद्र द्वारा अधिकृत क्षेत्र में सीधी सरकार का प्रशासन होता है। जो यूनियन टेरिटरीज होती है वह सीधी सरकार काम करते हैं। जैसा कि आप जानते हैं पहले से, एक संप्रभु राज्य एक सोवरेन स्टेट जो होता है उसके नाते भारत अंतर्राष्ट्रीय कानूनों के इंटरनेशनल जो लॉज हैं उसके तहत विदेशी क्षेत्र का अधिग्रहण कर सकता है। उदाहरण के लिए सत्तांतरण, जैसे संधि के अनुसार हो जाए, खरीद के लिया जाए या उपहार या लीज के रूप में भारत को कोई क्षेत्र मिल जाए और उस क्षेत्र में सत्तांतरण हो जाए और भारत के पास मान लो सत्ता आ जाए तो। या व्यवसाय, जैसे मान लो जैसे अभी तक किसी मान्य शासक ने अधिकृत न किया हो, वहाँ उसे जीत लिया जाए या व्यवसाय कर लिया जाए, उस बारे में उसे हरा दिया जाए, किसी को हरा करके ले लिया जाए, तो ये सारे क्षेत्र जो है वो भारत के क्षेत्र में शामिल हो जाते हैं। उदाहरण ले लें तो भारत का संविधान लागू होने के बाद में कुछ विदेशी क्षेत्रों का अधिग्रहण किया गया, जैसे दादर एवं नागर हवेली, गोवा है, दमन एवं दीव है, पुडुचेरी है, सिक्किम है। इन क्षेत्रों के अधिग्रहण की चर्चा आपको आगे की गई, मैं आपको बताता हूँ किस तरह से ये जोड़े गए थे चीज़ें। आर्टिकल 1 to 4 अंडर पार्ट 1 ऑफ द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन डील विद द यूनियन एंड इट्स टेरिटरी। यूनियन ऑफ स्टेट्स। Article 1 describes India, that is Bharat, as a union of states rather than a federation of states. This provision deals with two things: one, name of country, and two, type of polity. There was a uh, unanimity in the Constitution Assembly with regard to the name of constitution. There was no unanimity. There was no unanimity. There was no unanimity in the Constitution Assembly with regard to the name of country. Some members suggested the traditional name Bharat, while others advocate the modern name India. Hence, the Constituent Assembly had to adopt a mix of both. India is Bharat. Secondly, Constitution is described as union, although its constitution is federal in structure, but described as union, although it is federal in structure. According to Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, the phrase union of states has been preferred to federation of states for two reasons. One, the Indian Federation is not the result of any agreement among the states like the American Federation. And secondly, the states have no rights to secede from the Federation. The Federation is a union because it is indestructible. Union because it is indestructible. The country is an internal whole and divided into different states only for the convenience of administration. Okay, according to the Article 1, the territory of India can be classified into three categories. Category 1, territories of the states. Category 2, union territories. Category 3, territories that may be acquired by the government of India at any time. So these are three categories in Article 1st. The name of states and union territories and their territorial extent are mentioned in the first schedule of the Constitution. What is in schedule first? So listen carefully. The names of states and union territories. Names of states and union territories means names of states and names of union territories, and their territorial extent are mentioned in the first schedule of the Constitution. At present, there are 28 states and 8 union territories. The provision of the constitution pertaining to the states are applicable to all the states in the same manner. The provision of the constitution pertaining to the states are applicable to all the states in same manner. However, the special provisions under part 21 21 however the special provisions uh, under part 21 applicable to the states of Maharashtra, it's article 371. Maharashtra and Gujarat. Maharashtra and Gujarat, Article 371. Nagaland 371A. Assam 371B. Manipur 371C. And A. Nagaland, B. Assam, C. Manipur, Andhra Pradesh and Telangana, D. And F for Sikkim, Z for Mizoram, H for Arunachal Pradesh, I for Goa and J for Karnataka. So this was Article 21, Article 371 and parts of 371, yes. So 371A, 371B, like all these are articles are here. So listen it carefully that however the special provisions under the part 21 applicable over the states of Maharashtra and Gujarat 371, Nagaland 371A, Assam 371B, Manipur 371C, Andhra Pradesh and Telangana 371D, and also 371E for Andhra Pradesh for university, and 371F for Sikkim, EFZ for Mizoram, 371Z, 371H for Arunachal Pradesh, and 371I for Goa and 371J for Karnataka override the general provisions relating to the states as a class. Further, the 5th and 6th schedule contain separate provisions with respect to the administration of scheduled areas and tribal areas within the states. So we discussed here just two scheduled, more two schedule are 5th and 6th schedule. Why these two schedules are here? Because of 5th and 6th schedule provisions, 5th and 6th schedules have provisions for administration in scheduled and tribal areas. Notably, the territory of India is a wider expression than the Union of India. Notably, the territory of India is wider expression than the Union of India, because the latter includes means the Union of States includes only states, while the former includes not only the states but also union territories and territories that may be acquired by the government of India at any time in future. The states are the member of the federal system and share a distribution of power with the center. The union territories and the acquired territories, on the other hand, are directly administered by central government. Being a sovereign state, India can acquire foreign territories according to the modes recognized by international law. till 2019, the erstwhile state of Jammu and Kashmir enjoyed a special position by the virtue of Article 370 of the Indian Constitution. It had it. It had its own separate state constitution. But in present time, this has been gone. Following treaty purchases, gift, lease, or plebiscite, occupation with hitherto unoccupied by a recognized ruler, and it may be conquest or subjugation. For example, India acquired several foreign territories such as Dadra and Nagar Haveli, Goa, Daman and Diu, and Puducherry and Sikkim since the commencement of the constitution. The acquisition of territories it's discussed later in this chapter, but we can discuss now because we read this chapter in before time. So you listen me. In our constitution, Dadra. So in our India, that I discussed just that we occupied many areas of foreign countries or foreign states like Dadra and Nagar Haveli, Daman and Diu. So when we occupied Dadra and Nagar Haveli, so in 1941, in 1951, in 1954, sorry, 1950 in 1954, Dadra and Nagar Haveli we occupied this, and in our constitution, this was the 10th constitutional amendment in 1961. We amend our constitution in 1961. This was 10th constitutional amendment. Okay, and when we adopted Goa, Daman and Diu, so listen carefully once again. Dadra and Nagar Haveli we occupied and we adopted in 1954. 1954. In 1961 we adopted Goa, Daman and Diu. So this was the 12th constitutional amendment in 1962. Other hand, uh, on the other hand, we Puducherry also adopted in 1954. Dadra and Nagar Haveli and Puducherry was adopted in 1954. But with the 10th constitutional amendment in 1961, we constitutionally adopted. On the other hand, Puducherry was adopted in 1962 with the 14th constitutional amendment, and Sikkim in 1947 we adopted it, but constitutionally we adopted it in 1974 with the 35th constitutional amendment. So this was about where we adopt many areas of many several foreign territories such as Dadra and Nagar Haveli. Dadra and Nagar Haveli adopted in 1954, but constitutionally we adopted it 1961. Okay, 1954. In 1954 we adopted Dadra and Nagar Haveli and Sikkim also. Sikkim, not Sikkim, it was Puducherry and Dadra and Nagar Haveli we adopted in 1954. but in 10th constitutional amendment 1961 we adopted Dadra and Nagar Haveli 10th constitutional amendment. On the other hand, Puducherry was adopted in 1954 with the 14th constitutional amendment 1962. Okay, so this is the sequence. In 10th constitutional amendment 1961 we adopted Dadra and Nagar Haveli. In 12th constitutional amendment 1962 we adopted Goa, Daman and Diu. So Goa and Daman and Diu, two areas we adopted with the 12th constitutional amendment. And in 14th constitutional amendment 1962 we adopted Puducherry, and in 35th constitutional amendment 1974 we adopted Sikkim as a state. So there are many areas, several foreign territories such as Dadra and Nagar Haveli, Goa, Daman and Diu, Puducherry and Sikkim since the commencement of the constitution. The acquisition of their territories is discussed later in this chapter. Article 2. So this was Article 1st. Article 1. Article 2 empowers the Parliament to admit into the Union of India or establish new states or such terms and conditions as it thinks fit. Thus, Article 2 grants two powers of the Parliament. What power grants Parliament? What and which powers grants to the Parliament? Article 2nd. Article 2nd empowers the Parliament to admit into the Union of States. Admit into the Union of States of India or establish new states. So Article 2 empowers the Parliament, any state admit into the Union of India, and on the other hand Parliament can establish new states and some conditions and terms and conditions as it thinks fit. So which powers how Article 2nd empowers Parliament? So Article 2 grants two powers to the Parliament. First one, the power to admit into the Union of States. Power to admit into the Union of States. Any state can be admit into the Union of State as a new state. So, and second power is the power of establish new states. The first refers to the admission of states which are already in existence. So Article 2nd gives two powers to the Parliament. First one is admit into the Union of India. Firstly, which states are already in existence, while the second refers to establishment of which states are not already in existence. So we can say there are two types of powers. So Article 2 grants to the Parliament. Firstly, already existed states, and secondly some new states. Okay, notably Article 2 relates to the admission or establishment of new states that are not part of Union of India. Article 3 on the other hand relates to the formation of changes in existing states of the Union of India. And other words, Article 3 deals with the internal readjustment enters of the territories of the constituent states of the Union of India. So notably, there are two different types of Article 2 and 3. Article 2 related to admission or establishment of new states that are not part of India. But Article 3 power. On the other hand, Article 3 relates to the formation or changes. It can be change in name. It can be change the boundaries of any state. So these two uh, articles are different. So Parliament's power to reorganize the states. Article 3 authorizes the Parliament to first form a new state by separation of territory from any state or uniting two or more states of part or parts of states, or by uniting any territory to a part of any state. Listen first. First statement is very important. Form a new state by separation of territories from any state, or by any uniting two or more than two states or parts of states, or by uniting any territory to a part of any state. Secondly, increases the area of any state. Third, diminish the area of any state. Parliament also can increase, and also he can diminish the area of any state, alter the boundaries of any states, and alter the name of any state. So Parliament can change into boundaries, and also can changement in name. However, Article 3 lays down two conditions in this regard. One, a bill contemplating the above changes can be introduced in the Parliament only with the prior recommendation of the President, and two, before recommending the bill, the President has to refer the same of state legislature. It means whenever Article 3 will be used, will be used, whenever Article 3 will be used, Article 3 lays down two conditions in this regard. First condition is a bill contemplating the above changes. Any type of bill has contemplation the above changes can be introduced in the Parliament only with the prior recommendation of President, and two, before recommending the bill, the President has to refer the same to the state legislature. Means also in state legislature he has to recommend so further powers of Parliament to form new states includes the power to form a new state or union territory by uniting a part of any state or union territory to any other state or union territory. Further, The power of parliament to form new states includes the power of includes the power includes the power to form a new state or union territory by uniting a part of any state or union territory to any other state or other union territory. The President of Parliament is not bound by the views of the state legislatures and may either accept or reject them, even if the views are received in time. Further, it is not necessary to make fresh reference to the state legislature every time an amendment to the bills is moved and accepted in Parliament. In case of a union territory, no reference need be made need need be made to the concerned legislature to ascertain its view, and the parliament can itself take any action as it deems fit. It is thus clear that the Constitution authorizes the Parliament to form new states or alter the areas, boundaries, or names of the existing states without their consent. In other words, the Parliament can redraw the political map of India according to its will. Hence, the territorial integrity or continued existence of any state is not guaranteed by the Constitution. Therefore, India is rightly described as an indestructible, indestructible, indestructible union of destructible states. India is rightly described as an indestructible, indestructible union of destructible states. The union government can destroy the states, whereas the state governments can destroy the union. So, union government can destroy the states, whereas the states governments cannot destroy the union. In USA, on the other hand, the territorial integrity or the continued existence of a state is guaranteed by the Constitution. The American federal government cannot form new state or alter the borders of existing states without the consent of states concerned. That is why the USA is described as an indestructible union of indestructible states. Moreover, the Constitution Article 4 itself declares that laws made from admission or establishment of new states under Article 2 and formation of new states and alteration of areas, boundaries, or names existing states under Article 3 are not to be considered as amendment of Constitution under 368. So we can say, if we use if whenever we use Article 2 and 3 for any type of changement, it will not be counted it will not be counted in uh, it will not be counted in constitutional amendment under Article 368. This means that such laws can be passed by a simple majority and by the ordinary legislative process. Does the power parliament, so we question here, one question is here about to you. So, does the power of parliament to diminish the area of state under Article 3 include also the power to cede Indian territory to foreign country? Does the power of parliament to diminish the area of state under Article 3 include also the power of cede Indian territory to other foreign country? This question came up for examination before the Supreme Court in a reference made by President in 1960. The decision of central government to cede part of territory known as Berubari Union, West Bengal to Pakistan lead a political agitation, agitation and controversy and thereby necessitated the presidential reference. The Supreme Court held that the power of parliament to diminish the area of state under Article 3 does not cover cession of Indian territory to a foreign country. Hence, Indian territory can be ceded to a foreign state only by amending the constitutional under Article 368. So, consequently, the ninth constitutional amendment in 1960 was enacted to transfer the said territory to Pakistan. And this territory was Berubari Union to West Bengal. In present time, it is in Bangladesh. On the other hand, the Supreme Court in 1969 ruled that statement of boundary disputes between India and other country does not require a constitutional amendment. It can be done by executive action as it does not involve cession of Indian territory to foreign country. The various laws made by Parliament under Article 3 are mentioned in Table 6.4. So we'll discuss after Table 6.4. So now we'll know about exchange of territories with Bangladesh. The 100th Constitutional Amendment Act in 2015 was enacted to give effect to the acquiring of certain territories by India and transfer of certain other territories to Bangladesh in pursuance of agreement and its protocol entered into between the governments of India and Bangladesh. Under this deal, India transferred 111 enclaves to Bangladesh, and while Bangladesh transferred 51 enclaves to India. In addition, the deal also involved the transfer of adverse possessions and the demarcation of a 6.1 kilometer undemarcated border stretch. For these three purposes, the amendment notified the provision relating to the territories of four states: Assam, West Bengal, Meghalaya, and Tripura. In the first schedule of the Constitution, the background of this amendment is as follows. India and Bangladesh have a common land boundary of approximately 4096.7 kilometers. The India East Pakistan land boundary was determined as per the Radcliffe Award of 1947. Disputes arose out of some provisions in Radcliffe Awards which were sought to be resolved through the Baghe Award of 1950. So, what is this Baghe Award? Another effort was made to settlement these disputes by Nehru Noon Agreement of 1958. However, this issue relating to division of Berubari Union was challenged before the Supreme Court. To comply with the opinion rendered by Supreme Court, the Constitution of 9th Amendment Act in 1960 was passed by Parliament. Due to the due to the continuous litigation and other political departments at the time, the Constitution 9th Amendment Act in 1960 could not be notified in respect of territories in form East Pakistan, presently Bangladesh. On May 16, 1974, the agreement between India and Bangladesh concerning the demarcation of the land boundary and related matters was signed between both of the countries to find a solution to the complex nature of the border demarcation involved. This agreement was not ratified it involved inter ally transfer territory which requires a constitutional amendment. In this connection, it was also required to identify the precious precise precise area of precise area on the ground which would be transferred. Subsequently, the issues relating to the demarcation of under demarcated boundary, the territories in adverse possession and exchange of enclaves were identified and resolved by signing a protocol on September 6, 2011, which forms an integral part of the land boundary agreement between India and Bangladesh 1974. The protocol was prepared with support of concurrence concurrence of concerned state governments of Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura, and West Bengal. So now we'll know about evolution of states and union territories. So listen carefully. At the time of independence, India comprised two categories of political units, namely the British provisions under the direct rule of British government and the princely states under the rule of native princes but subject to the paramountcy paramountcy of the British Crown. The Indian Independence Act 1947 created two independent and separate dominions of India and Pakistan and gave three options to the princely states: joining India, joining Pakistan, or remaining independent of the 552 princely states situated within the geographical boundaries of India. 549 joined India and three remaining, Hyderabad, Junagadh, and Kashmir, refused to join India. However, in course of time, they were also integrated with India, Hyderabad, by means of police action, Junagadh by means of referendum, and Kashmir by instrument of accession. In 1950, the constitution contained a fourfold classification of states, part A, part B, part C, and part D. Four classification of states and territories of union, states and territories of Union of India. Part A, part B, part and part C and D. Part C for states and part D for territories. Okay, in all the numbered 29. Part A states comprised nine erstwhile governments provi- province of British India. Part A states comprised nine erstwhile provinces, provinces of British India, and Part B states consisted of nine erstwhile princely states with legislature, and Part C states consisted of erstwhile chief commissioners provinces of British India, and some of the erstwhile princely states. These Part C states, in all 10 in number, were centrally administ- administered, and Andaman and Nicobar Island were kept as solitary Part D territory. This fourfold classification of states and territories 1950 is given in table 6.1. After some time, so now we focus on this table, that you can see easily that Assam, Bihar, Bombay, Madhya Pradesh, Madras, Orissa, Punjab, United Province, and West Bengal in Part A. So these nine states are in Part A, and some nine states in Part B are Hyderabad, Jammu and Kashmir, Madhya Pradesh, Mysore, Patiala and East Punjab, Rajasthan, and Saurashtra, Travancore, Cochin, and Vindhya Pradesh. On the other hand, in Part C, there are 10 states: Ajmer, Bhopal, Bilaspur, uh, Cook Behar, Kurg, and Delhi, Himachal Pradesh, Kutch, Manipur, and Tripura. And lastly, in Part D, there is only one, Andaman and Nicobar Island. So these are the categories In 1951, the Constitution contained a fourfold classification of the states and territories of the Union of India. Indian Union, Part A, Part B, Part C, states, and Part D, territories. Part A, Part B, Part C, states, and Part D, territories. In all, they are numbered 29. Part A states comprised 9 erstwhile governors' provinces. So there was in Part A governors' provinces of British India, and in Part B states consisted of 9 erstwhile princely states with legislatures. Part C state consisted of erstwhile chief commissioners provinces of British India and some of the erstwhile princess states. These are Part C in all, 10 in number, were centrally administered. On the other hand, the Andaman and Nicobar Island were kept in solitary Part D territory. These four classification of the states and territories 1950 is given in table 6.1, and we read the table 6.1. So this is Dhar Commission and JVP Committee. Dhar Commission and JVP Committee. The integration of princely states with the rest of India has purely an ad hoc arrangement. There has been a demand from different region, particularly South India, for uh, reorganization of states and linguistic basis. Accordingly, in June 1948, the government of India appointed the linguistic provinces commissions under the chairmanship of S.K. Dhar to examine the feasibility of this. The commission submitted its report in December 1948. So it was reorganization of state. It was established in June 1948, and in December 1948 it submit a report and recommended the reorganization of states on the basis of administrative convenience rather than the linguistic factor. This create much resentment and lead to the appointment of another linguistic provisions committee by the Congress in December 1948 itself to examine the whole question afresh. It consisted the Jawaharlal Nehru, Vallabhbhai Patel, and Pattabi Sitaramaiah. So these three persons were here. Firstly, Jawaharlal Nehru J, Vallabhbhai Patel V, and Sitaramaiah, Pattabi Sitaramaiah P. So popularly known as the JVP committee. It had no chairman or convener. It submitted its report in April 1949 and formally rejected language as the basis for reorganization of states. However, in October 1953, the government of India was forced to to create the first linguistic state known as Andhra state by separating the Telugu speaking area from the Madras state. This followed a prolonged popular agitation and death of Potti Sri Ramulu, a congressperson, of standing after a 56-day hunger strike for this cause. For the cause. And after that, the Fazal Ali Commission was created. The creation of Andhra state intensified the demand of other region for creation of states on linguistic basis. This forced the government of India appointed in December 1953 a three-member of state reorganization commission under the chairman of Fazal Ali. So this commission was called as Fazal Ali Commission. So there was three member and chairman was Fazal Ali. So Fazal Ali Commission was established, reorganized to re-examine the whole question. Its other two members were K.M. Panikkar and H.N. Kunjuru. K.M. Panikkar and H.N. Kunjuru and Fazal Ali, these three persons were in this commission is called Fazal Ali Commission. It submitted its report in September 1955 and broadly accepted language as the basis of reorganization of states, but it rejected the theory of one language, one state. Its view was that the unity of India should be regarded as the primary consideration of any redrawing of the country's political units. It identified four major factors that can be taken into account in any scheme of reorganization of state. First recommendation was the preservation and strengthening of the unity and security of the country. Secondly, linguistic and cultural homogeneity. Third, financial, economic, and administrative considerations. And lastly, planning and promotion of the welfare of the people in each state as well as of the nation of as a whole. The commission suggested the abolition of fourfold classification of states and territories under the original constitution. In original constitution, we discussed just that there was four types of fourfold classification of states and union territories under the original constitution, and creation of 16 states and 3 centrally administered territories. So commission suggested 16 states and 3 centrally administered territories. The government of India accepted these recommendations with certain minor modification. By the State Reorganization Act 1956 and the 7th Constitutional Amendment Act 1956, the distinction between Part A and Part B states was done away with. Part C states were abolished. Distinction between Part A and Part B states was done done away with the part C. Part A and part B. So distinction between part A and part B states was done away with. The part C states were abolished. Some of them were merged with adjacent states, and some other were designated as union territories. As a result, there was 14 states and 6 union territories were created on November 1st, 1956. These are mentioned in table 6.2. So now here we can see all are the states like so union territories so states Andhra Pradesh, Assam, Bihar, Bombay, Jammu and Kashmir, Kerala, Madhya Pradesh, Madras, Mysore, Odisha, Punjab, Rajasthan, Uttar Pradesh and West Bengal. November 1st, 1956. On the other hand, some union territories like Andaman and Nicobar Island and Delhi, Himachal Pradesh, and Lakshadweep, Minikoy and Amini Dweep Island and Manipur, Tripura, etc. So this was the Fazal Ali Commission. The State Reorganization Act 1956 established the new state of Kerala by merging the Travancore Cochin state with the Malabar district of Madras state and Kasargoda of South Kannada, Dakshin Kannada, South Kannada, Canara, Dakshin Kannada. It merged the Telugu speaking areas of Hyderabad state with the Andhra Pradesh state of created the Andhra Pradesh state. Further, it merged the Madhya Bharat state, Vindhya Pradesh state, and Bhopal state into the Madhya Pradesh state. Similarly, it merged the Saurashtra state and Kutch state into that of the Bombay state, and the Coorg state into the Mysore state, and the Patiala and East Punjab State Union, its Pepsu into the Punjab State and the Ajmer into the Rajasthan State. Moreover, it created the new Union Territory of Lakshadweep, Minikoy and Aminidiv Island from the territory detached from the Madras State. So now we'll know about new states and union territories created after 1956. Even after the large scale reorganization of the states in 1956, the political map of India underwent continuous changes due to the pressure of popular agitations and political conditions. The demand for a creation of some more states on the basis of language or cultural homogeneity resulted in the bifurcation of existing states. So now we'll know about bifurcation of exiting states like Maharashtra and Gujarat in 1960. The bilingual state of Bombay was divided into two separate states, Maharashtra and Maharashtra speaking, Maharashtra for Marathi speaking people and Gujarat for Gujarati speaking people. Gujarat was established as the 15th state of the Indian Union. So Gujarat was established as 15th state. Which number state? Gujarat was 15th state. So Maharashtra was also existed before. So we can say Bombay divided and made two states. These are Gujarat and Maharashtra. So we count only Gujarat as the 15th number because of Bombay is known as Maharashtra. And third, Dadra and Nagar Haveli. The Portuguese ruled this territory. Portuguese means Portugal's people. The Portuguese ruled this territory until its liberation in 1954. When Dadra and Nagar Haveli was liberated in 1954, until its liberation in 1954, the Portuguese ruled here. Subsequently, the administration was carried on till 1961 by administrator chosen by people themselves. So this is very interesting fact that Portuguese people Portuguese people's rule was diminished in 1954, but till 1961 the administration of Dadra and Nagar Haveli was under the people of Dadra and Nagar Haveli themselves. It was converted into a union territory of India by the 10th Constitutional Amendment in 1961. And I told before you that this was the 10th Constitutional Amendment in 1961, and under this Constitutional Amendment, the Dadra and Nagar Haveli was adopted in our Union of India. So this was 1961. This year was 1961 when the territory Dadra and Nagar Haveli was adopted in our union. And nextly, later in 2020, the union territory was merged within the union territory of Daman and Diu in order to form a new union territory, Dadra and Nagar Haveli and Daman and Diu. This was done by Dadra and Nagar Haveli and Daman and Diu merger of Union Territories Act 2019. So Act 2019, with the Act 2019, Act's name is Dadra and Nagar Haveli and Daman and Diu Merger Act Union Territories 2019. 2019, in Act 2019, later in 2020, the Union Territory was merged with the Union Territory of Daman Diu in order to form a new Union Territory. So next is Goa, Daman and Diu. India acquired these three territories from the Portuguese by means of police action in 1961. They were constituted as Union Territory by the 12th Constitutional Amendment in 1962. So this was 12th Constitutional Amendment in 1962, and we adopted it. Means we acquired in 1961, but in 1962 we adopted constitutionally. Later in 1967, Goa was conferred a statehood. Conferred as a statehood, Goa in 1987. So this year was 1987. Goa was separately uh, known as a state. So here we can write that in 1987 Goa known as separately state. Consequently, Daman and Diu was made the separate union territory. Again in 2020, the union territory of Daman and Diu was merged with the union of territory of Dadra and Nagar Haveli in order to form a new union territory of Dadra and Nagar Haveli. So this is very interesting fact. What is this? Here we discussed now that yes, Sam. This is Sam. The act in 2019. And again in 2020, the Union Territory of Daman and Diu was merged to the Union Territory of Dadra and Nagar Haveli. Daman and Diu merged to the Dadra and Nagar Haveli in order to form a new territory of Dadra and Nagar Haveli and Daman and Diu. This made done by the Dadra and Nagar Haveli and Daman and Diu Merger of Union Territories Act. Dadra and Nagar Haveli and Daman and Diu. So first we will take name of Dadra. After that we'll take name of Nagar Haveli, and after Daman and after Diu. So it's Puducherry. Now we'll discuss about Puducherry, and after we'll discuss about Nagaland. Puducherry. This territory of Puducherry comprises the former French establishments in India known as Puducherry, Karaikal, Mahe, and Yanam. So Puducherry, Karaikal, Mahe, Yanam, all these names are of Puducherry. So this territory, Puducherry, was ruled under French establishment. The French handed over this territory to India in 1954. So Puducherry in 1954, but we constitutionally adopted it in 14th Constitutional Amendment 1962. Subsequently, it was administered as a quiet territory till 62. From 1954, from 1954 to 1962, it was acquired territory and administered as an acquired territory. And when it was made a union territory, acquired territory, it was known as administered as acquired territory until the act of 14th Constitutional Amendment was not be created. And on the other hand, Nagaland in 1963. Nagaland in 1963, the state Nagaland was formed by taking the Naga Hills and so Nagaland was formed. Nagaland was formed in 1963. The state of Nagaland was formed by taking the Naga Hills and the Tusang area, Tunsang, Tunsang area out of the state of Assam. This was done to satisfy movement of the hostile Nagas. However, before giving Nagaland the status of 16th state of Indian Union, it was placed under the control of government of Assam in 1961. And now we'll discuss Haryana, Chhattisgarh, and Himachal Pradesh. In 1966, the state of Punjab was bifurcated to create Haryana as the 17th state of our Indian Union. So 17th state was Haryana, 15th state was Gujarat, and which was the 16th state. So 16th state was Nagaland. So Nagaland was formed by taking the Naga Hills and Tuensang area out of Assam. Naga Hills and Tuensang area in 1963. So, but in until under the 1961, it was placed under the control of control of Assam in 1961. So 17th state was union and its territory of Chhattisgarh, and they followed demand for a separate Sikh homeland, Punjabi Suba, raised by the Akali Dal under the leadership of Master Tara Singh. On the recommendation of Shah Commission 1966, the Punjabi speaking areas were constituted into the unlingual state of Punjab, and Hindi speaking area were constituted into the state of Haryana, and the hills area were merged with the adjoining union territory of Himachal Pradesh in 1971. When it was merged in 1971, the union territory of Himachal Pradesh was elevated to status of 18th state of Indian. So here 18th state was Himachal Pradesh. But in 1971 it was as a union territory. So when it was elevated as a state of union by the State of Himachal Pradesh Act 1970 with effect from January 25, 1971, by the Northeast Area Reorganization Act 1971 with effect of January 21st 1972. So these two different acts was for Himachal Pradesh. So finally, what we get here, what we got from here, that Himachal Pradesh, known as 18th state, and next one is Manipur, Tripura, and Meghalaya. Manipur, Tripura, and Meghalaya in 1972, the political map of Northeast India underwent a major change. Thus the two union territories of Manipur and Tripura and the sub-state of Meghalaya got statehood, and the two union territories of Mizoram and Arunachal Pradesh, originally known as Northeast Frontier Agency NFA, came into being. With this, the number of states and Indian Union increased to 21st Manipur, 19th Tripura, 19th Manipur, 20 in the Tripura, and 21st was Meghalaya. Initially, the 22nd Constitutional Amendment Act in 1969 created Meghalaya as autonomous state or sub-state within the state of Assam, with its own legislature and council of ministers. However, this did not satisfy the aspirations of the people of Meghalaya. The Union Territory of Mizoram and Arunachal Pradesh were also formed out of the territory of Assam. Sikkim. Till 1947, Sikkim was an Indian princely state ruled by Chogyal. Till 1947, Sikkim was an Indian princely state ruled by Chogyal. In 1947, after the lapse of British paramountcy, Sikkim became a protectorate of India, whereby Indian government assumed responsibility for the defense, external affairs, and communication of Sikkim. In 1974, Sikkim impressed its desire to it impressed its desire for greater association with India. Accordingly, the 35th Constitutional Amendment 1974 was enacted by the Parliament. This amendment introduced a new class of statehood under the Constitution by conferring on the Sikkim the status of an associate state of Indian Union. For this purpose, a new Article 2A and a new Schedule 10th Schedule containing the terms and conditions of association were inserted in Constitution. This experiment, however, did not last long as it could not fully satisfy the aspiration of people of Sikkim. In a referendum held in 1975, they voted the abolition of institution of Chogyal and Sikkim becoming an integral part of India. Consequently, the 36th Constitutional Amendment Act 1975. There was 36th Constitutional Amendment 1975 was enacted to make Sikkim as a full-fledged state of Indian Union. So now the Sikkim is 22nd state, and this amendment amended the first and the fourth schedules to the constitution and added a new article 371F for Sikkim to provide for certain special provisions with respect to the administration of Sikkim. It also repealed Article 2A and the 10th schedule that were added by the 35th Constitutional Amendment 1974. So it's repealed Article 2A and Schedule 10th schedule. So that were added by 35th Amendment Act of 1974. And this amendment 35th and this amendment is 36th in just next amendment. And next about Mizoram, Arunachal Pradesh and Goa. In 1987, three new states of Mizoram, Arunachal Pradesh and Goa. Mizoram became 23rd state, Arunachal Pradesh became 24th state, and Goa became 25th state of the Indian Union respectively. The Union territory of Mizoram was conferred the status of a full state as a sequel to the signing of a memorandum of settlement, Mizoram Peace Accord in 1987 between the central government and the Mizo National Front, ending the 2-decade-old insurgency. Arunachal Pradesh had also been a union territory from 1972. The state of Goa was created by separating the territory of Goa from Union territory of Goa, Daman and Diu. So, Goa, Daman and Diu was a territory, but in 1972, Goa was separately became a state. We can say a state, a separate state in 1972, and we discussed also about a separate state. Just now we discussed Goa became a separate state in 19. No. Goa was created separating the territory. Goa, the Goa state of Goa was created by separating the territory of Goa from the Union territory of Goa and Daman and Diu. What this sentence wants to say. Listen it carefully. Arunachal Pradesh had also been a union territory from 1972. The state of Goa was created by separating the union territory of Goa from the union territory of Goa and Daman and Diu. So now we can say in 1972 by the State of Mizoram Act 1986 with effect from February 20, 1987. By the State of Arunachal Pradesh Act 1987 with the effect of February 20, 1987. By the Goa, so we can say that 11 number point that Mizoram and so this is the Mizoram, Arunachal Pradesh and Goa separately became states 23rd, 24th and 25th, and we discussed this now here. So now we'll discuss about Arunachal Pradesh 1972 and when became Goa. I think Goa became in 1987. Goa. Oh, we discussed it. Goa became in 1987. Also, Mizoram and Arunachal Pradesh also became a state. Goa became 25th state, and Arunachal Pradesh became 24th state, and Mizoram became 23rd state separately in 1987. So, with the Act of 1986. Okay. Now we'll discuss about Chhattisgarh, Uttarakhand and Jharkhand. In 2000, three more new states, Chhattisgarh as 26th, Chhattisgarh as 26th, Uttarakhand as 27th and Jharkhand as 28th state in 2000. So this was year of 2000. 26, 27 and 28, these three states respectively became uh, part of Union of India. So in 2000 and now lastly we discuss about Telangana. In 2040 the new state Telangana came into existence as the 29th state of the Union Territory. It was carved out of the territory of Andhra Pradesh. The Andhra State Act 1953 formed the first linguistic state of India, known as the state of Andhra, by taking out the Telugu speaking area from the state of Madras. Now this Madras is called as Tamil Nadu. Kurnool was the capital of Andhra Pradesh state, and the state high court was established in Guntur. So Kurnool and Guntur was very special areas of Andhra Pradesh, and also it is now also now both areas in present time also are very important. The States Reorganization Act 1956 merged the Telugu speaking area of Hyderabad state with the Andhra Pradesh state to create the enlarged Andhra Pradesh state. The capital of the state was shifted to Hyderabad. Before the Hyderabad, the capital was Kurnool. Capital was in Kurnool and High Court was in Guntur. Before the Hyderabad, the capital was Kurnool, and after enlarged Andhra Pradesh became Hyderabad capital. Again, the Andhra Pradesh Reorganization Act 1940 bifurcated the Andhra Pradesh into two separate states, namely the Andhra Pradesh Residuary and Telangana. And this is very important. Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh. Till 2019, the erstwhile state of Jammu and Kashmir had its own constitution and thus enjoyed a special status by virtue of Article 370. Article 370 of the Constitution of India. In 2019, the special status was abolished by a presidential order known as the Constitution Application of Jammu and Kashmir Order 2019. This order superseded the earlier order known as the Constitution Application to Jammu and Kashmir Order 1954. Earlier super order was taken into force in 1954, and this order came into force in 2019. The 2019 order extended all the provisions of the Constitution of India and Jammu and Kashmir also. Further, the Jammu and Kashmir Reorganization Act 2019 bifurcated the erstwhile state of Jammu and Kashmir into two union territories. We'll discuss now into two separate union territories, namely the Union Territory of Jammu and the Kashmir and the Union Territory of Ladakh. So these two separate union territories created firstly Jammu and Kashmir and lastly Ladakh. The Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir comprises all the districts of the erstwhile state of Jammu and Kashmir except of Kargil and Leh districts which have gone to Union Territory of Ladakh. So we can say in Ladakh Union Territory there are two districts, Kargil Leh district, Kargil and Leh. Kargil and Leh, these two districts of Jammu and Kashmir and became Ladakh. Ladakh is very large area rather than the Jammu and Kashmir Union Territory, because these area hilly area and their people does not live here. Thus, the number of states and union territories increased from 14 and 6 in 1956 to 28 and 8 as of now, respectively. This present position of indicated in table 6.3. Will not know about all these names because in this exam there will be a question, will not be, I think will not be question about the name and the union name and the capital of any type of state and union territory. But some changes in names is very important for point of view from exam point of view. The names of some states and union territories have also been changed, like laws made by Parliament under Article 3 of the Constitution. So, we will know about the name changement. So, firstly, the Assam Alteration of Boundaries. Alteration of Boundaries Act 1951, Assam, altered the boundaries of the Assam by sending by ceding a strip of territory comprised in the state of Bhutan. Andhra Pradesh State Act 1953 formed the first linguistic state known as the state of Andhra by taking out the Telugu speaking area from the state of Madras. Kurnool was capital of Andhra Pradesh and state's high court was established in Guntur. And next one is Himachal Pradesh and Bilaspur New State Act 1954 formed the new state Himachal Pradesh by uniting the existing states of Himachal Pradesh and Bilaspur. Himachal Pradesh and Bilaspur. And fourth is Chandero Nagar, Chanderan Gaur Merger Act merged the territory of Chandarnagore, a former enclave of France, into the state of West Bengal. Chandarnagore. And now, lastly, the State Reorganization Act 1956 made the extensive changes in the boundaries of various states in purpose of meeting the linguistic, regional, and local demands. It created 14 states and 6 union territories. By state were Andhra Pradesh, Assam, Bihar, Bombay, Jammu and Kashmir, Kerala, Madhya Pradesh, Madras, Mysore, Orissa, Punjab, Rajasthan, Uttar Pradesh, and West Bengal. The union territories were Andaman and Nicobar Island, Delhi, Himachal Pradesh, and Lakshadweep, Minicoy, and Amindiv Island. Manipur and Tripura. It established the new state of Kerala by merging the Travancore Cochin state with the Malabar district of Madras state and the Kasargoda of South Kannada, Dakshin Kannada. So these all changes came into force after some time. It merged the Telugu speaking area of Hyderabad state with the Andhra Pradesh, create Andhra Pradesh state further. Further, it merged the Madhya Pradesh state, Vindhya Pradesh state, and Bhopal state into the Madhya Pradesh state, became separately Madhya Pradesh. Similarly, it merged the Saurashtra state and Kutch state into the Bombay state, and the Kurg state into the Mysore state, and Patiala state and East Punjab state union into the Punjab state, and Ajmer state into the Rajasthan state. Moreover, it created the union territories Lakshadweep, Minikoy, and Aminideep Island from the territory detached from the Madras state. And next one is Bihar and West Bengal Transfer of Territories Act 1957 provided the transfer of certain territories from the state of Bihar to the state of West Bengal. Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh Transfer of Territories Act 1959 provided the transfer of certain territories from the state of Rajasthan and other to the state of Madhya Pradesh. This certain territories was namely something I am forgetting name. And next one is Andhra Pradesh and Madras Alteration Act of Alteration Boundaries Act 1959 provided for a alteration of boundaries and the states of Andhra Pradesh and Madras. Bombay Reorganization Act 1960 formed the new state of Gujarat, 15th state, by taking out of Gujarati speaking areas from the Bombay and renamed the other part of Bombay state as Maharashtra state. The city of Ahmedabad was made the capital of Gujarat. Acquired Territories Merger Act 1960 provided from the merger into the state of Assam, Punjab, and West Bengal of certain territories acquired from Pakistan under the agreements entered into between the governments of India and Pakistan in 1958 and 1959. State of Nagaland Act 1962 formed a new state of Nagaland, 16th state, by taking out the Naga Hills and Twensang area from the state of Assam. And Naga Hills, Twensang area was tribal area of Assam specified in the 6th schedule of the constitution. Punjab Reorganization Act 1966 formed a new state of Haryana, 17th state, by taking out of Hindi speaking areas from the state of Punjab. It also made Chhattisgarh a new union territory as well as a common capital for both Punjab and Haryana. Because Chhattisgarh was very important for both these states, so it became a common capital. Because Haryana was saying that will take Chhattisgarh, and Punjab was saying that we'll take Chhattisgarh. So this is a common capital in this time. Bihar and Uttar Pradesh Alteration of Boundaries Act 1968 provided for alteration of boundaries states of the Bihar and Uttar Pradesh. And Andhra Pradesh and Mysore Transfer Territories Act 1968 provided for the transfer of certain territory from the state of Mysore and the state of Andhra Pradesh. 15th number Madras State Alteration of Name Act 1968 changed the name of state of Madras and that of state of Tamil Nadu, formed as autonomous state substate known as Meghalaya within the state of Assam. And number 17 state of Himachal Pradesh Act 1917 elevated the union territory of Himachal Pradesh to the status of state 18th state. In the number 18, the Northeast Area Reorganization Act 1971, they elevated the two union territories of Manipur and Tripura to status of states, 19th state and 20th state respectively. It also conferred full statehood as Meghalaya, 21st state, which was preva- uh, previous previously a sub-state within the state of Assam. Further, it formed the two union territories of Mizoram and Arunachal Pradesh out of the territories of Assam. Mysore State Alteration and Name of Act 1973 changed the name of state Mysore to the state of Karnataka. Mysore became Karnataka. And Lakkadiv, Minicoy and Aminidiv Island, alteration of name Act 1973 changed the name of Union Territory of Lakkadweep, Minicoy and Aminidiv Island to that of Union Territory of Lakshadweep. 21, Haryana and Uttar Pradesh. Haryana and Uttar Pradesh Alteration of Boundaries Act 1979 provided the alteration of boundaries of the states and Haryana, Uttar Pradesh. State of Mizoram Act 1986 elevated the Union Territory of Mizoram in the status of a state, 23rd state. In the state of Arunachal Pradesh Act 1986 elevated the Union Territory of Arunachal Pradesh to the status of state as 24th state. Goa, Daman and Diu Reorganization Act 1987 formed the new state of Goa, 25th state, by separating the territory of Goa from Union Territory Goa, Daman and Diu. And 25th number, Madhya Pradesh Reorganization Act 2000 formed a new state Chhattisgarh, 26th state, out of the territories of the Madhya Pradesh. In 2000 became Uttar Pradesh Reorganization Act Uttarakhand, 27th state, separatively. And 27th number is Bihar Reorganization Act. Jharkhand became 28th separate territory of the Union territories of the Bihar. So 28th territory, 28th state, Jharkhand in 2000, Uttarakhand, and in 2000 Chhattisgarh, Uttarakhand and Jharkhand became all three in 2000 year. And 28th number, Uttaranchal alteration of name Act 2006 changed the name of state Uttarachal to the state of Uttarakhand. And Pondicherry alteration of name Act 2006 renamed the Union Territory Pondicherry as the Union Territory Puducherry. And 30th number, Odisha alteration of name Act 2011. Odisha became Odisha. Odisha became Odisha. Andhra Pradesh Reorganization Act 2014 formed a new state of Telangana, 29th state, by carving out of its territory from the territories of the state of Andhra Pradesh. Jammu and Kashmir Reorganization Act 2019 bifurcated the erstwhile state of Jammu and Kashmir into two separate union territories, namely the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir and Union Territory of Ladakh. And lastly, the Dadra and Nagar Haveli and Daman and Diu merger of Union Territories Act 2019 merged the erstwhile two separate union territories, the Union Territory of Dadra and Nagar Haveli and the Union Territory of Daman and Diu, in the form of new Union Territory Dadra and Nagar Haveli and Daman and Diu in 2019. So this was our chapter, and this table related to the 4 articles I think Article first is name and territory of union. Second, Article second is uh, admission or admission or establishment of new states. So that these states under Article 2 will not be part of uh, Union of India before. So now we can see that Article 2 is related from these types of states that are not existed in Union of India. On the other hand, Article 3 formation of new states and alteration of areas, boundaries, and names of existing states. And Article 4 laws made under 2 and 3 will not be, we can say, a constitutional amendment under 368. The amendment of first and fourth schedule and supplemental incidental and consequential matters.